Hello my dear students. In the previous class I have told you all that what is the function of the President of the India as well as what qualifications are required for being the President, including what are the workings and what are his powers. Now, link between the President and the government, or we can say link between the President and the Prime Minister. As in the previous class I have told you all that all the powers lies in the hand of the Prime Minister. But according to the Constitution of India, President got the supreme position. In reality, all the powers which are in the hand of the President of India, that all powers are exercised by the Prime Minister of the India. Now, general elections. Because after the election only government will be framed, and we are knowing Prime Minister is the head of the government. So, formation of the government, or how after the election government is being formed. As the general elections are over, it is checked that candidates of which party got the majority of the seats or won the maximum constituencies. The party which won the maximum seats or the constituencies, that party is known as the majority party. After the declaration of the result, President of India addresses or invites the leader of the majority party to form the government. But for making the government or for forming the government, at least 2/3 of the total is required. In case if any party is unable to achieve this 2/3 of the total seats, then President said to the leader of the majority party that they ally or join with the another parties and form the government. In case when one or more than one party join together and form the government, that government is known as the coalition government. And if a single party got the absolute majority and formed the government, that government is known as the majority of the government. Once the government is being formed of a party, the leader of that party is elected as the Prime Minister of the India. After being appointed as the Prime Minister, it is the responsibility of the Prime Minister to give a list of the cabinet ministers to the President. So, once the Prime Minister is being elected, it is his responsibility that he appoint his cabinet ministers. And it is believed in the government, after the Prime Minister, the power of the cabinet ministers are supreme. These cabinet ministers got the in charge of the individual or independent departments like the defense, finance, education, foreign ministry, etc. Now, parliament, or what is the division of the parliament? My dear students, our country India has chosen the parliamentary form of the government, and in our country parliament has two houses. One is known as the upper house or the Rajya Sabha, another is known as the lower house or the Lok Sabha. See, all the details of the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha are written here. Rajya Sabha is known as the upper house. It is also known as the Council of the States. There are 250 seats in the Rajya Sabha. Wait. There are 250 seats in the Rajya Sabha out of 250 seats, 238 are elected and 12 are nominated by the President of India. For being a member of the Rajya Sabha, the age which is required, that is 30 years of the age. And for the Lok Sabha, 25 years of the age. One more thing which I forgot to write here, I am writing. This Rajya Sabha is known as the permanent house. And this Lok Sabha is known as the temporary house. Why it is known as the permanent and temporary? I am telling you. Rajya Sabha is known as the permanent house because it never dissolve or never come to an end. After every 2 years, 1/3 of the total members of the Rajya Sabha are being retired. And who choose the members of the Rajya Sabha? Members of the Rajya Sabha are chosen by the members of the Legislative Assembly as well as members of the Legislative Councils of the state. Now, Lok Sabha, it is also known as the lower house or the house of the people, and it is the temporary house. Why it is a temporary house? Because after every 5 years, Lok Sabha come to an end. And this is the result that after every 5 years elections held in our country. That's why it is known as the temporary house. The total members in the Lok Sabha are 552. Among that, 530 are elected from the states, 20 are elected from the union territories, because in our country union territories are also there, and 2 are nominated by the President of the India. Yes. Now, these 2 which are nominated by the President of the India, they belong from the Anglo-Indian community, and these 12 in the Rajya Sabha which are nominated by the President, they got the renowned position, or they are famous in the specific field like education, sport, science, art, literature, etc. Now, in case, sorry, don't say that. Now let us see little bit the working of the Prime Minister. As I have told you that Prime Minister is the head of the Lok Sabha. It is the Prime Minister only who makes different type of rules for the welfare of the country. All the cabinet ministers which are in his cabinet, they also work under the guidance and influence of the Prime Minister. In case if any of the ministry of the Prime Minister is not working in a proper way, or Parliament has got a bill of the no confidence, then Prime Minister, including all his cabinet minister, has to be resigned from their post. Now, what is the bill of the no confidence? As I have already told you all, that for forming the government, this much is required, 2/3 of the total seats. In case some MLAs of the Lok Sabha join the another party, or they resigned from the same party, then PM has to be resigned, because he will not be able to show the majority, or he will not be able to gain the absolute majority in the Parliament. Now, this is the last topic, some functions of the Parliament. First one, and it is the most important function of the Parliament, to make the law. Yes, because we are knowing all the elected representatives by us, they sit in the Parliament, and it is the responsibility of the elected representative to make the laws on the various issues prevailing within the country. So, in the law, 2 types of law are there. One is the ordinary bill and another is the money bill. What is this ordinary bill? any bill which is for the welfare of any state or any individual area or any part of the country that came under the category of the ordinary bill. What happens in the ordinary bill? First, bill is sent into the Lok Sabha. If it is passed from the Lok Sabha, it is sent into the Rajya Sabha. When the bill is passed from the both houses, means from the Lok Sabha as well as from the Rajya Sabha, it is sent to the President of the India. Then President of India makes signature of it and it becomes a law. Second is the money bill. For making money bill, every time power lies in the Lok Sabha only. Our Lok Sabha makes the money bill. After making the money bill, that bill is sent to the Rajya Sabha for the further recommendation or for checking purpose. If Rajya Sabha has given any recommendation on the bill, then it is on the members of the Lok Sabha that they are following the recommendations of the Rajya Sabha or not. One more thing. The bill which is sent to the Rajya Sabha by the Lok Sabha, that bill should be returned from the Rajya Sabha to the Lok Sabha within 14 days. In case members of the Rajya Sabha didn't return that bill to the Lok Sabha in 14 days, it is said that bill is being passed. Now one thing which I forgot, making law. As here we are discussing about the central government. So there are few areas in which central government can make the law. Union list and the concurrent. In special case only, it can make law on the state list also. Now what are these three? Union list, concurrent list and the state list. As we are knowing, our country is divided into the union as well as state governments. So if there will not be the separation of making the rule, there can be a lot of clash. Because suppose state government also made law on the same issue and the central government also made the law, so there will be a problem. So in the union list are the subjects which are in the union list. For that, law is being made by the central government only. In the state list, only state government can make law. And in the concurrent one, both can make, either the state government or the union government. One more thing, in some special cases, this central government can make law in the state list also. Yes. Now, second working of the parliament, control the executives. Yes. The executives which are appointed by us, it is the responsibility of the parliament to check their workings by the adjournment motion, call attention motion in the parliament. Because the executives which are elected by us, they are for our welfare. So we can't check their workings. So it is the responsibility of the parliament to check their workings. And in the parliament they have to tell that this much money they got in their department for this purposes, this much work has been done, this much work is about to be, and this much work is in the process. Now third one, controlling the finance. It is the most important function of the parliament. And because of this only, every year parliament sanctions the budget. Now what is the budget? Budget is the income and expenditure of the government. By the budget, government consensus are said that in the last year this much was the profit and this year this much money will be spent in the various departments for the welfare of the people. Now, amendment of the constitution. Yes. Some changes in the constitution can also be made by the parliament, but by the both houses of the parliament, means by the Rajya Sabha and by the Lok Sabha. In case that bill is not too much important, then it can be passed by only one house only, Lok Sabha only. Electoral functions. It is also the supreme responsibility of the parliament to check that elections are going in a proper way or not. And elections should be held in a free and fair manner. Last one, judicial functions. In this function, parliament can pass the impeachment, means it can remove. To whom it can remove? Parliament can remove the President of the India, Vice President of the India, judges of the Supreme Court, as well as the judges of the High Court. So my dear students, this was all about the chapter 3, the need of a parliament. In the next class, we shall write down the exercises and question answer of this chapter. One more thing, in case any of these topics or any of the word which is spelled by me or spoken by me is not understood to you, any term is difficult to you, you all are free to write down your comments. I will read the comment, accordingly I will answer, and on the Saturday when interaction will be there with your class teacher, you can tell to your class teacher also, he will address to me and accordingly I will work on that. So till that, bye my dear students.